So I'm gonna wave my hand in front of the monitor, the camera. It's really fast. I barely see a delay. All right, so this is the Monitor and Control app made by Sony. Make sure that you see the developer's name is Sony. And the app that I've been using is Monitor Plus. I actually paid for the paid version for more control over the camera settings and everything, and having more function basically. But this one, the Monitor and Control app by Sony, is free. At this moment, we are having FX3, FX6, FX30 to be the supported cameras. So hopefully Sony will update the app and support more cameras. Don't quote me on this, but I assume that it will be supporting newer cameras, of course, most likely after A7 III or A7R5, A7R4. So I won't have too much hope of having it supporting older cameras like the A7 III, but you never know. Hopefully Sony will update this app. So basically what happened is you have to download this app. So if you go into the menu, go to the briefcase or toolbox, whatever that is, go to the second page. Under setup option, you have version. So my camera is already updated to version 3.0. If you want to learn how to update your FX30, FX3 firmware, I have a YouTube short video that I can post a link down below so you can watch it. Make sure that you follow the steps on the Sony website, not this video, in order to update your firmware, because you never know when they're going to update the process. But then I will have the video link down in the description below. So you have to make sure that you're on version 3.0 in order to use this app right here. So now we have Monitor and Control app downloaded. I'm gonna open it up and see what's here. So after agreeing to all the agreements, it's now searching for a camera. So I'll have my camera turned on and make sure that I turn off airplane mode. I always have it on because I don't want to waste battery life. So that's off. And I think you also have to have Bluetooth on. Okay, I'm gonna use Bluetooth pairing first. So I'll have Bluetooth turned on my camera. And hopefully we can find the camera, yes. So I have my FX30 found. I'm gonna tap on pairing. Menu network pairing, okay. Okay, so I'll have to go into settings, menu, network menu, and pairing. So I'm gonna tap on pairing. Connected. It's gonna join the FX30 Wi-Fi network because that is more stable when it comes to streaming video feed. Same thing as the Monitor Plus app that I've been using. So now it's connected. It seems like it's pretty good in terms of the interface. So it's disconnected already. So let's try to connect it again. So I assume that every time you do open up the app, you have to pair it again. So the interface is not bad at all, actually. So here we have a lot of basic controls. I assume this is the white balance slider. You can control it, so you can see that it's affecting the camera as well when I go up and down. And exposure compensation, it's not on because I'm on manual exposure. I can control the aperture. Yep, it gets darker, brighter as I do this. And EI is basically the ISO, and it's now set to the Cine EI, so I have two basic ISOs. So now it's asking if I want to still use data for receiving messages. So I have two base ISO on the FX30, 800 and 2500. So of course I can change it back and forth, as you can see. Shutter speed, of course, we have no shutter angle, unfortunately. And zoom, this is not a power zoom lens, so it's blanked out. And look, okay, so this one here, it's displaying the LUT that I load onto the camera. And the color gamut, this is filming in S-Log3, so that's why it's gonna use the LUT that I import in order to display a proper image. So far, I can tell that the image is quite similar. It's just a little bit off in terms of colors, but that's okay because we are filming in S-Log3 on the FX30 most of the time, so we don't really need to care about that too much. I just need to display a LUT in order to show the image properly when I'm filming. So I can turn this off. As you can see, the LUT is off on the camera already. I can turn it back on and off. It's really hard to film this video because I have like 3 monitors in front of me. So here I can select the LUT that I am using on the camera. It's pretty cool. It's really smooth. The user experience on this app is smoother than the Monitor Plus, even the paid version. And I have record format here, and I'm always recording in XAVC HS4K 23.98 frames per second. I'm not filming in 24 because I remember I should require DCI, so it'll chop off the top and the bottom of the frame, so I'm not using that. Anyway, so 10-bit 422, these are the basic formats. Other settings, we have display speed priority. I think this is basically how fast the display is going to show or monitor the image. Let's see if I can show you guys. This is really hard because I have a lavalier attached as well. So I'm going to wave my hand in front of the monitor, the camera. It's really fast. I barely see a delay. I hope you guys can see it on the camera that I'm recording. So if I select image priority, oh, it's choppy. It's really choppy. So unless I really need critical focus polling where I have to see like the absolute detail of the image, I'll choose display speed priority. This is way faster. So at the bottom of the screen, it has an arrow because it cannot fit everything. But anyway, it's okay. So at the top, you have a full screen, which zooms in a little bit of the thing of the monitor. Oh, I have to cancel that. Oh, okay. So I have to turn off that feature in order to hide that menu. And you can rotate the screen like this manually. And of course, if your phone has rotation lock unlocked, then you can do that as well. But I usually use it in landscape mode. You can check the battery life. And oh, okay. So we have the ability to change exposure mode. I don't know what happened. Oh, it went back to the... Oh, okay. So this one does not allow you to go to mode or the memory recall mode because yep, it went into another mode. So I usually have my settings preset to something else, but too bad this does not allow you to go to the memory recall mode. It's just going back to the menu or SNQ mode. So that's not too fun. And of course you have the file name and you have tools. Here, this is where it's kind of similar to the Monitor Plus app. You have a waveform monitor, which is really handy. And yes, you can move this by dragging these dots like that. And you can change the size of the waveform monitor. So this is great. This is absolutely amazing if you are trying to nail the exposure of your scene. So you can see that the windows are blown out. And of course, let's see if I can wave my hand in front of the camera again. Just 1 second. I don't want to kick this camera down. So here, it should. Yep, so this is my hand showing on the waveform monitor. This is really weird looking at this through like 3 different screens. So that works, of course. The next thing is histogram. I personally use waveform and false color instead of histogram. Histogram I use it for photos mainly, but so this is the false color. What happened is it will show you what's underexposed. So here I have the couch that is close to underexposed. Anything that is blue and dark purple, they're pretty much crushed shadows. And anything that is in red will be overexposed. So let's say if I open up the aperture, you can see that the windows are close to clipped, but I wouldn't risk it. I personally use Zebra on the camera, and I hope that they will put in false color in the camera, but not in an app, so I can use it besides or without using the app. So focus control, this one is new. You can change the focus mode of the camera. Let me turn off the waveform. You have to turn off everything one by one just to not to have them overlaid like that. So you can change the transition speed, everything. Basically inside the camera, everything can be changed. You can change the touch function and AF assist on. I think that means you can manually override the autofocus. So that's pretty cool. So you can see that it pulling focus. I'm gonna show you guys here. So it's pulling focus manually. And if I turn this off, it should go back to autofocus. Yep. So it went back to autofocus. And of course you have the ability to change the face and eye detect autofocus. And bar settings, I believe this one is to change where the focus bar is at, and then left bar, yep. So you can have the left or right focus bar, which is this bar right here to pull focus. And also you have the ability to change the unit to feet if you want. And the focus peak and highlight basically from white to red. I personally use red more than white, so I'm going to change that. So that's the focus tool, and you can go back to basic tools. And in terms of battery life, you can monitor the camera battery like here. I think it's actually draining the battery quite a lot compared to a Monitor Plus. I think it's pretty similar, but then still we need to test it in order to update you guys. You can, let's see if I can tap to focus. Where can I tap to focus? I have tap to focus on. Yep, I have tap to focus on my camera, but for some reason, I think I have to go into focus control, touch, tracking autofocus on. So now this is on. Can I go back to this page? Oh, nope. So what happened is you have to go into focus control and you can tap. You can see that there's like a white dot going on, and it shows you that it's tracking that part. So which is cool. It's basically using the camera's tracking feature. So you can see that I can remotely change the tracking point. This is really handy because especially if you are with a crew and you want to pull focus from, let's say, one subject to another, and you don't want to touch the camera screen to like move the camera. It might accidentally move the camera if you tap onto the screen. So this is for your crew member to tap onto the screen and then you can pull focus. You can probably turn this side. Okay, so you have to have a focus bar. This is really annoying. Can I? You can't really make this bar smaller, and then this screen it's. So, you can zoom in onto this side so you have a bigger screen to pull focus instead of having all these settings at the bottom. This is not too intuitive. So to be honest with you, the app design is quite weird. Here, I think I have the ability to hold the record button. So let's say if you hand this to your client or whoever that is, the director that is monitoring the scene, you can hold the record button, and I think you can lock all the keys as well. Yep. So once this is locked, you have no control over the camera. So this is really great because in the past, I will have to have a wireless HDMI transmitter, video transmitter connected to the camera via HDMI, and then it will send the signal to my phone via an app or to my iPad via an app, so I can give this to the client as a monitor. But now I can just lock it and they can still use it as a monitor. Of course, you can unlock it for yourself. Let's see what this bar is for. Monitoring, connect. Oh, these are just settings, basically. So that's just the settings. That's connecting. This is connected. This app is also available on the iPad, and you can download it. It will be a bigger interface. I will probably just download on each of my devices, so just in case if I didn't bring my iPad, I can still use it as a monitor or give it to my client or friends to monitor, or like a focus puller to monitor the scene for me. And I think this is great because it has most of the features in the paid version of the Monitor Plus app that I made a video of, and I'm not sponsored by them, but then the video did really well. Thank you so much for all your support. And this one is free, and the latency is, I think it's better than the Monitor Plus app. I still need to use it in a on-set environment to let you guys know. And in order to tell if the battery life is, it's literally dropping, like the battery life of the camera. But it does the same thing with the Monitor Plus app. I just need to see which app does better when it comes to battery life. And also connectivity, because the Monitor Plus app, if you are in a, let's say, a busier environment full with Wi-Fi signal and Bluetooth signal, the signal will drop quite easily, and then the latency, sometimes because of the interference, it will have poor connection and you start having like laggy frame and stuff like that. But that one, the good thing about that one is I think the screen is a little bit bigger. I think it gets like all the way to the top of the screen. So this one is quite small, to be honest with you, to use as a monitor, especially if you have the screen just like that in the middle. It's not it's not that much bigger than the actual monitor, so I don't know why you would use this. But again, it's wireless. I am always about being wireless and being convenient. I don't want to have any cable if I can on my camera. That's why I think this is a great app. I just want to make this video very quickly to show you guys because I got super excited about this update. Again, now the app supports FX3, FX6, and FX30 at the moment. Update to the latest firmware from the Sony website for your camera, and then download this app and give it a try. I think this is pretty much like a copied version of the Monitor Plus app, except some of the super sophisticated feature, let's say anamorphic de-squeeze. So for example, if you're using anamorphic lenses and you want to stretch the image so it looks better on the screen, you can do that on the Monitor Plus app. But here I don't see the option of even going into the camera's anamorphic settings. So yeah, I think they probably need to add that feature here as well. That one you can even custom make a anamorphic de-squeeze ratio, so that one seems a little bit more sophisticated. But so far this is not bad at all. This is quite fun, to be honest with you, and it's free. Again, that one cost me like $20 US. So one thing I forgot to mention is there is one feature that I was hoping this app would provide, but it did not. It's the same as the Monitor Plus app. You cannot play back the clips on your phone to monitor. You will still rely on the camera screen when you play back a clip. So let's say if I record something, so the recording feature works pretty well. And if you stop recording, there's no button to play back, at least on the app first. And then when you play back on the camera, is this operation is not possible. So I was hoping that it would work, but it did not. Most likely, I was expecting it not to work already, probably because in order to play back, you will have to have some sort of protocol to the HDMI port in order to export the video feed onto your phone. So it's a limitation. It's like most likely a hardware limitation. So yep, too bad it's not working here as well. Same as the Monitor Plus app. Let us know what you think, and we'll keep you guys updated if we like this app or not after using it for different projects. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.